did one session last October. Is that right?
Yeah, back in October.
And then I have this new thing out, Dive to the Five. I've had self-hypnosis audios out for a while, but you went to the Inner Game Summit at the beginning of this month, March 2022. And I explained the Dive to the Five process to connect to your trauma more so you can clear more out with the self-hypnosis. So how has that worked for you? What did you clear?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me that I cleared was like a feeling of anxiousness. And because I mostly felt it around women and like right before I would perform sexually. However, after clearing that out, at least the after effects, not only with just women and not only just with women, but in general in terms of other situations, I realized that it wasn't triggering that sort of anxiousness feeling. But I only ever realized it whenever I was in the situation with women.
Okay, so there was other times you had anxiety, but it was the worst when you were with women.
Yeah, the worst, I would say not. I wouldn't necessarily say the worst. I would say that it was where I felt it the most.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, where it just triggered the most. Like
so
it wasn't worse.
Did you feel it really? Did you? And so, scale of 0 to 10, how high was this anxiety around women in certain situations?
I mean, like specifically, right up to the like during. Okay,
at
like say
worst,
if a woman's back in my house. Yeah, that's where it was. I would say at its worst, like a 9, 10. Like if you want to do like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was just like this
super high
of. Yeah, this flood of like warmth and tingliness, like up the left side of my chest and all of my body.
Good
and just
warmth
like thinking
or bad
of performing. I was terrible. It was like a need to perform sort of feeling.
Okay, so then you did the Dive to the Five. What was that like? What happened? What did you find out was at the core behind that anxiety?
Yeah, so I actually did I did the Dive to the Five the one time, but in the actual like the hypnosis sessions itself, I did 4 in total.
4 of the audios.
Yeah, 4 of the audios, all within like the same day. I did one, and then then I did it again. Then I did it again.
Just like, I'm gonna fix this, man. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
All right, so
like
go ahead.
I would say each time that I did it, like because you know how when you say you 3, 2, 1, you want to bring up the memory of where it was at, whenever it triggered, or when is it when you were a child? I had different memories every time that I did it.
Each of the 4,
yeah, and I felt the level of anxiousness each time at that same level, anywhere between like a 7, 8, or 9. But then as I progressed from the first, second, third to the fourth, it started to diminish, but I could still feel it.
So like the 4th time, how high could you get it on the 4th time?
The 4th time, it was like a 2, a 1. Like I could barely feel it at all.
Even though you ramp it up, it's just way lower.
Yeah, I was ramping it up. I was trying to get it to a 10, but like my body it just wasn't there. So it was like.
And the first time, like how high was it? The first time you did the audio, how high did we get that anxiety or what did that trauma feel like?
What was that about? To answer the first question, but what it felt like, it was a bit debilitating in terms like it, like because I described like it was a warm feeling, but it was like a tingling, like warm feeling, like something was pulling on me. It's like a pressure, like something. Yeah, it was like a pressure, not a pulling. It was like a pressure, like right underneath, like my chest and on the left side of my body. I could feel like something pushing, but it was like it felt like it was trying to push me away from whatever I was going to do.
Okay, so I want to explain a couple things for our audience just real quick. This is freaking solid gold. I appreciate this, Brandon. So, Dive to the Five is there are 5 types of subconscious trauma, and each one manifests differently in different people. But I have people start out with what they struggle with and trace it down to one of these. It could be all 5. It could be 2 of the 5. It could be just one of the 5 core traumas. But it's Dive to the Five is a process to get down to the root of what's in your subconscious causing what you struggle with. And the 5, just real quick, the first one, I'm not good enough. Now, it can manifest different ways. It could be I'm bad or sinful or evil. It could be I'm loathsome, I'm disgusting, I'm not good enough, I fall short, I'm inadequate, I'm unworthy, undeserving, unlovable, worthless, loser, failure. any of those is a form of not good enough. But for, I had one guy, he was disgusted at himself. Another just falls short, can't ever get to the standard he's supposed to get to. Another is different than the real him, is different from what he's supposed to be. These are all versions of not good enough. So there's different manifestations of how it manifests in each person. So, if I'm not good enough applies to what you struggle with. If that's what's at the core, this worksheet has you write it out, right? How does this apply to you? So do you mind, if you don't want to get too personal, that's fine, but you mind sharing what you found out as you went through the dive with 5 process, and what was behind this terrible warm feeling pulling you away?
In terms of like of the 5 that I was struggling with, or
of the 5
specific thing I was struggling with.
Yeah, if you don't want to get too personal, that's fine, but whatever you're willing to share.
No, that's fine. Yeah, for me, again, I specifically felt it in regards to women, and anytime that I would be about to progress towards sex or anything like that, or I even had the thought of progressing, like making a move or something like that while she was at my place, that's when I started to feel it. And it was like a feeling of overwhelm, like I needed to perform. And doing the dive of the 5, I felt I know that I had a lot of the toxic shame, the first one, a lot of inadequacy, not worthiness, like I won't be able to perform. Second one, I forget this. I forget. So but the biggest one is just
say the 5 real
unworthiness.
quick. The first one, I'm not good enough. The second one is I'm different. I don't belong. I don't fit in. Can't connect with others. One or all of those. It can it could be a different nuances, different manifest differently for different people. So that's what we explore: is does this apply to you, and how does it apply? Number 3, I cannot get what I want. I'm not worthy. I'm not allowed to. It's just not for me. I'm incapable of getting it. Number 4, anger, resentment, rage over injustice, or bitterness over injustice, betrayal, abuse. Number 5, I'm not safe. Dread everything will fall apart. And this is more kind of like survival. Like I'm going to lose my job. I can't pay my bills, or I'm in physical danger. So those are the 5. And so you said the first one applied, and what else applied?
Everything but the second one that you had said. I don't fit in, I don't belong. But I did have some of the other 4, but they all came back to just not feeling good enough.
Yeah, and so this gets you really connected. Now, a subconscious program is 2 sides of one coin. It has 2 parts. The first is a belief or interpretation. So interpretation, when I fail, it means I'm a failure. That's an example. Or a belief is I'm not good enough. That's the first side of a subconscious program. The second side is the feeling attached to it. And anytime you are in a situation that either could spike, anytime you're in a situation that is a match for what's inside you, it's going to spike this emotion. Now, if your brain sees I have a painful emotion in me tied to a subconscious program, and it's not triggered yet, but it could be, then your brain gives you anxiety to get you to avoid triggering it because it's painful. And our brain motivates us away from pain. That's what anxiety is about. Fight or flight. Fight's anger, punch this guy in the face. Flight is fear, anxiety, dread, get out of here. And so you would have anxiety, correct?
Right. It was anxiety.
And you said that warm feeling pulled you away, made you want to get out of there.
Yeah, it's exactly. It was pushing. It was like a pressure on the surface of my body, but it was like wanting me to leave whatever the situation I was in.
Yeah, and so your brain is saying, here's a potential for pain if things go wrong. And so get out of here. So what we have you do is figure out, okay, what's the potential for pain? What is in you? What's a bad subconscious program that when it's triggered, you feel terrible? And you said that was what?
Just performing, like needing to perform. Like if
it all falls apart, how do you feel? If you don't, if you disappoint the girl, how does it feel?
Just like a lot of the words were like inadequate, like I'm not worthy of being able to perform. Yeah, basically just like inadequacy and unworthiness.
Okay, so very good, thank you, sir. So when we get you connected to this feeling, then we know you are connected to the subconscious program. So then in self-hypnosis, when you're feeling this terrible feeling, we can say, bring this thing you're feeling right now, send it away, and it sends the program out of you. And like you said, it took 4 times to get it fully away, but you did that in one day, correct? And the intensity of the bad feeling at first when we triggered it on the first audio was how high? 0 to 10?
Like 9 or 10. Yeah, it
Nine
was
or
ramped all the way up.
okay. So and so then what happened? You cleared it 4 times. On the last time, you could barely feel it, and then we ramp it up and then we send it away in each session. So after you did 4 of these, then what happened? What was
After I did the 4, yeah, after I did the 4 of them, I mean, immediately I felt better in terms of like I couldn't feel the feeling obviously because I ramped it up and then it was gone. But in terms of like my day to day, because I could also feel it well, as I felt it the 2 weeks before I did the actual session. I try to experiment and like I also felt it in terms of like wanting to approach a girl and if I thought like anything sexual in terms of her, it would also trigger it. And so after I cleared it away, like I see a girl, I'm like I'm sexually attracted to her, and I think the thoughts about her, it doesn't trigger it, or it's like I know I emailed you about this as well. It's like an empty feeling, like it wants to be, or like it's almost empty.
It's like
And
there's nothing there, or is there a blockage there, or
yeah,
what's it like?
it's like there's nothing there. I expect it to be triggered, but then it doesn't. I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. Like I'm usually
Yeah.
anxious by this point.
So, and how long have you struggled with that?
Since I came into like this community and everything for like 2 years on a conscious level that I actually struggle with it.
Yeah, but it's really been there for your whole life. Am I right?
For my whole life, yeah. Like 7 or 6 is when I first went going into the actual dab to 5, and the actual hypnosis when the memories came all the way back to when it first got triggered.
Cool. So you had this 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. It was a really big issue for you. And one afternoon, then it's like gone. Do you feel that's a temporary effect, or does it seem permanent, or do you know?
No, it's been permanent. I haven't really experienced a lot of it. I mean, I definitely feel it like other areas, but in this specific area, it's not really that big of an issue anymore.
Wow. So how big of a deal is that for you?
Oh, it's a huge deal. I'm definitely much more confident, at least when I go into the bedroom. So that definitely helps.
That's how we do it. So, and that's why, I really appreciate you doing this interview, because what we're doing is so freaking powerful. We just got to get people sharing their stories to show how powerful it is. So I really appreciate it. That is going to help when guys see this, then they do it, then they get better too. And in fact, today we're going to do a session a little later, but you're like, I don't even know if I need to do a session, Ryan, because I've cleared. Have you cleared other stuff, or just this one thing with the self-hypnosis?
That was the biggest thing I know wanted to come into this session that I wanted to clear. And then in doing that 2 weeks ago, I've been trying to figure out, okay, what other things have I struggled with in the past?
Yeah, now I said, let's do the session because you did mention one thing that's pretty notable that I want to work on today. But, congratulations to you, because for me, when I did this, because, I used to have really bad manic depression, just didn't feel good about myself. Tons of anxiety. I had so much freaking anxiety all the time. It kind of paralyzed me in many ways. Anger, rage, resentment. I had it all, or a lot of stuff. I got rid of it forever. Now other guys are doing it. This audio works if you get the proper training. That's what the Dive to the 5. It's the training how to use the audio correctly. But for me, it took courage to go in. I mean, did you feel any resistance when you're starting to do this? Like, I don't want to do this, or were you like, okay, just like I want to get this done? I mean, it could go either way.
I just wanted to get it out.
Oh, cool.
I've seen your work before, done some of the sessions, and found you about a year ago, and so I've been following since. So I was just ready to like get it all out, see if it actually worked. And so we had that session in October. It worked. And then
how was the session in October for you, the live session?
That one was great because it reduced a lot of negativity, like just cloudiness of negativity that clouded my mind, right? I think negatively about myself. I bring myself down. And then after that session, like it was just a steady, like in a clear mind as I was going throughout my day. If something bad happened or I didn't do something that I said I was going to do, I wouldn't be as mean to myself, or mean at all for that matter. I'm like, okay, I understand, I might be tired or whatever, and I would just go back and get to it. But it was very
helpful. How helpful was it that you've cleared these things out? How big of a difference does it make in your life?
I mean, I'm overall happier. I mean, I have
Yeah.
overall clear sense of clarity on like what I'm supposed to do. I'm actually able to do it. I'm not procrastinating on certain things. So overall, it's just been beneficial.
Awesome, man. So I appreciate you sharing. Anything else? Is there anything you want to say to anyone watching that's thinking about doing this or that struggles in any way? What would you tell them?
I mean, at first I was skeptical, like any sane person would be. I
Yeah,
was skeptical,
it's
but
kind of weird, but so is our subconscious.
yeah,
Subconscious is weird, honestly. I mean, how do we dream? We have all sorts of weird dreams, but keep going.
right, right, yeah. But in joining like MLD's community and speak with a lot of guys um, about like the process and in terms of like hypnosis and how it's helped them. And after doing my first one with you, I mean, I think it's nice to go in, not nice, but normal to go into a healthy bit of skepticism, right? But then after that first one and sort of the progress that I've seen in myself from then till now, and then the progress from just 2 or 3 weeks ago when I did the session, whenever we had the Inner Game Healing Summit, until now, definitely worth it.
Cool, man. Yeah, and these self-hypnosis you can use as many times as you want, and you can, once you know how to use them, you can clear several things with it. You just, man, I struggle with this.
Mm-hmm.
Dive to the 5, find the core subconscious part that's messing you up, clear that out. So it's freaking baller. So I appreciate you. It's an honor and privilege working for you, Brandon, helping you out. And congratulations for doing this, because a lot of guys or people in general, yeah, they are skeptical and then they don't do it and then they keep struggling. So
Right.
this is going to help people out. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So just an addendum here. So with the self-hypnosis audios, how many bad subconscious programs have you cleared?
6. Well, it was 7, I guess, including 2 weeks ago. But between October until today, 7 other traumas.
And you did that all by yourself, just listening to the audios?
Yeah, by myself.
And how big is that?
It's good. It's great. Like, I don't really know how to put it into words. It's just a feeling that's just elevating. It's uplifting.
How many different audios did you use to clear those 7 things?
Just the trauma childhood clearing one.
Just that one audio. Once you understand the process, you cleared 7. These 7 things. How long have you struggled with them?
Since I was a kid.
Yeah, man. This is like some people tell me it feels like magic almost. Just like, what the hell? It's gone? What? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you relate to that?
I do. Like I said in the longer version of the video, there are certain situations I'm put in that I expect the feeling to come up of the whatever feeling it was that triggered it, and it doesn't pop up. And
yeah, here comes. I'm expecting the anxiety now. I'm expecting to feel like shit right now, and I feel just I'm neutral.
Yeah, I'm neutral, and then that elevates my emotion because like, oh, it feels more freeing. Like I can go after what I want now.
Yeah, man. So I just wanted to add this on because as we were talking further, you're like, oh, I cleared 6, 7 things with this audio. It's like, shit, we got to put that in. So thanks, man. All right. So I just wanted to add that for our audience. Thanks.